In this video we'll examine the story happening in Britain in 2011. 17-year-old Emily Longley was confident and had a brilliant future looking for her, yet tragically the entirety of her arrangements imploded. This case caused an extraordinary reverberation, not just as a result of the passing of a young lady, yet in addition due to how situation developed after her demise. Emily Longley was brought into the world in Britain in 1994 to Czech and Caroline Longley 2 years after the fact. Her folks had another kid, Emily's more youthful sister Hannah. From youth the young ladies were very near one another. They resided in a cherishing and caring family. When Emily was 9 and Hannah was 7, the family moved to New Zealand. Auckland turned into their new home when Emily fell in with some unacceptable group. Subsequent to moving to New Zealand, her middle-class guardians sent her back to the UK to begin another existence with her grandparents. In 2010 Emily travelled to Britain to learn at Brockenhurst School. She needed to get a business degree and longed for turning into a model. In Britain she inhabited her grandparents' house in Bournemouth, neighbouring Poole. In the west is a town in the region of Dorset, a well-known hotel on the English Channel coast. When Emily moved to Britain, her sister Hannah was currently at school and her folks Imprint and Caroline separated yet kept a cordial relationship. Emily was a delightful young lady who pulled in much consideration. One day she met 20-year-old Elliot Turner. He established truly a connection with her. Steadily their correspondence developed into a heartfelt connection. In April 2011 Emily got back to New Zealand to visit her family, whom she had not seen for around 6 months. Her dad met her at the air terminal. She approached him and embraced him firmly, saying she missed him especially. Emily had an extremely cozy relationship with her dad, who cherished her frantically and missed her grin, chuckling and grimy jokes. The next day the entire family went to Emily's one pizza joint. She differentiated her folks that from concentrating on in school she was taken part in displaying and made a few extraordinary companions. She likewise referenced the man she was dating, 20-year-old Elliot Turner. They had just been dating for a couple of months and it appeared to her that she was excessively youthful for something serious. I believe I will end it when I return, she said. Emily went through the following couple of weeks spending time with loved ones. She lived it up. Nobody thought they would before long lose her. When Emily's flight began loading up, it was difficult for her to express farewell to her family. Anyway, Emily guaranteed she would be back in 5 months. She needed to see the matches of the Rugby World Cup, which was to start on September 9th. While messaging with her dad a couple of days after the fact, Emily informed him about saying a final farewell to Elliot, yet she didn't delve into subtleties. Elliot acted peculiarly in the wake of seeing the photographs of Emily that she posted on informal communities while in New Zealand. There were folks in these photographs and Elliot was exceptionally desirous. The child of a rich gem specialist, Elliot Turner was 20 years of age and his life appeared to be light-hearted. Turner was notable in the nearby bar and club scene in the Bournemouth and Poole regions and was essential for a pack of well-off young fellows, considered the firm considered by his companions. All discussion Turner on the grounds that of his flaunting. He met Emily in December 2010. The couple partook in the lap of luxury at the retreat and frequently had a good time until late around evening time. However, Turner, who had a background marked by fixation on ladies, before long gave indications of envy. Subsequently their relationship rapidly escalated into rough contentions. Certain individuals depicted him as an individual showing an undermining, forceful, savage, controlling and possessive nature. In January 2008, when he was 16, he got a provocation cautioning letter from the police telling him not to contact his ex after he barraged her with instant messages and messages. Since she said a final farewell to him, Turner cherished being at the focal point of consideration. He didn't have to work professionally. His folks gave him all that he really wanted. Elliot capably controlled individuals, including his folks. His life was about parties, ladies, liquor and unlawful substances. He viewed himself as a man who can do anything he needs. Elliot conveyed a sledge with him in the event that anybody attempted to go against him. His companions accepted that Turner liked himself a criminal and needed to turn into the one everybody went to for help. He could come to the bar and purchase everybody a beverage. Elliot gloated about driving another Mini Cooper. However, it was a gift from his grandma. He attempted to keep up with his terrible kid picture with a progression of probably streetwise messages on interpersonal interaction destinations where he frequently alluded to himself as Scarface or God. He didn't need female consideration, yet when he met Emily he turned out to be extremely joined to her. She commended his picture of an effective individual which he endeavored to make as their relationship created. Turner began showing his controlling conduct increasingly more frequently. He even undermined Emily that he would take her life. In a profound supplication to Turner, Emily composed a note to him a couple of months before her demise saying, 1. I love both of you, don't say you'll kill me. 3. Quit discussing your exes. 4. Quit being so continually forceful, be more cool, cuz that is quite a lot more hot and you make me terrified cuz you're so scary. When Turner started to show his actual face, and while his controlling conduct began to go past all sensible cut-off points, Emily understood that he was not the individual she needed to be with. However, individuals like Turner don't comprehend dismissal. On the night of May 6, 2011, Emily was with companions in one of the diversion scenes. Observation cameras caught how she came to a club with her companions that night. Turner read her Facebook messages and found that Emily was dating another man. It irritated him. He came to the club and began contending with Emily. This entire story finished with the young lady tossing her beverage right in front of him. Turner loudly mishandled her and compromised her with viciousness he could have done without Emily's outfit. He thought it was too uncovering. He excused the way that Emily had said a final farewell to him. The man won't let her go. Elliot demolished her night, so she chose to leave, yet her ex followed her. His companions heard him say, I will kill her, I will go to jail for itself, nevertheless be a tycoon, I would complete 10 years. It wouldn't annoy me. Turner found Emily some way or another, convincing her to go to his home. He said he needed to talk in a more loosened up climate. Elliot Turner resided with his folks. Maybe that is the reason Emily went with him. Perhaps she figured he would act all the more tranquilly within the sight of his folks. Neighbors saw them go inside the house the next morning. Anita Turner, Elliot's mom, called the crisis administration saying Emily was not awakening. Simply let me know what's occurred there. It is my child's companion saying with us earlier today I attempted to awaken the two of them, however the young lady didn't awaken. We attempted to awaken her. I don't have any idea what it is. I really want you to pull back the couple for myself and simply hope to check whether you can see any indications of breathing. I attempted to hold the way. No, I really want you to put your face close to her mouth. Could you at any point feel any breath? Might you at any point see her chest going all over? No, nothing. What tone is she? What tone is she? Definitely. What tone is she's blue? Is she? Will be she red? Is see that my significant other is seeing at this point? Hold tight. It was around 9 a.m. before the appearance of the rescue vehicle. Anita paid attention to the administrator's directions on the most proficient method to help Emily. Sadly, when the emergency vehicle showed up, the main thing they could do was to express the passing of Emily Longley. Anita was an Indonesian resident who came to the UK to wed Lee Turner. When the couple had a child, they didn't deny him anything, which was a serious mix-up during her discussion with the crisis administration. Off administrator Anita's voice didn't seem like the voice of a mother who had quite recently found her child's sweetheart dead. She was excessively quiet, as though the same old thing had happened large number of miles from Britain in New Zealand. Emily's dad Imprint awakened at 2 a.m. and saw a lot of missed calls from his ex Caroline and more youthful girl Hannah. There was likewise a voice message from Hannah, however Imprint could scarcely make out what she was talking about. Then he heard Caroline shout behind the scenes and her words, Emily is dead. Imprint wouldn't completely accept that he called his mom in Britain when she addressed his entire world self-destructed. His mom was crying madly. Minutes after the fact, one of the cops took her telephone. I sorry to let you know that your little girl Emily is dead, he said. Imprint couldn't really accept that it. After all, Emily was perched on his love seat and grinning. Simply 7 days prior, traveling to the UK, the pain-stricken dad actually declined to accepted that his girl was dead. However, sadly it was anything but a fantasy. The deficiency of the oldest little girl was difficult for Emily's folks. The police told them that Emily had kicked the bucket in her rest. It had neither rhyme nor reason. She was youthful and sound. The police gathered some proof, yet it was hazy what befallen Emily. They needed to sit tight for the post-mortem results. Elliot Turner's folks Anita and Lee told examiners they had been home the entire evening and had not heard anything since. Dubious Elliot openly grieved Emily by posting photographs of them together on his Facebook page. The police had nothing impenetrable to discredit. They account of Turner and his folks that Emily strangely passed on in her rest during the examination of any demise. The primary component is to decide the reason for it. When specialists find the reason for the casualty's passing, they comprehend what they are managing and how to direct an examination while hanging tight for the dissection results. The specialists figured out that a couple of days before her demise, Emily had posted something weird on her Facebook page. "I have a stalker," she added. "Somebody just called me and I resembled who's this, and they resembled. You don't have any acquaintance with me yet I know it all about you." And I was like, "How could you get my number?" And he was like, "LOL, let you know when I see you," and continued to ask me out. So I hung up, and they won't quit calling. Emily composed on Thursday, May 5. Simultaneously, the police figured out how to figure out that before her passing, Emily fought with Elliot Turner before other club visitors. In the wake of talking, Turner's companions' agents discovered that he attempted to control everything Emily might do, that he learned about her gathering with another man, and above all, that Elliot took steps to end her life ordinarily. Yet his companions connected no significance to this, accepting that these were simply words with which Turner reinforced his picture of a criminal. The autopsy didn't give a definite reason for Emily's passing anyway. Specialists referenced it very well, maybe strangulation, and one of them said the actual discoveries are completely predictable with pressure being applied to the neck. Examiners accept that one of the Turner relatives could be engaged with Emily's demise, so they chosen to introduce listening gadgets in their home. The police were expecting to see whether they were concealing anything, and they were on the right track to do that part. To obliterate age, get right to annihilate them. Better believe it. We distorted the course of equity. We've obliterated imperative proof for this situation. You believe we're correct? Definitely better believe it. Yet center the discussion, since it looks you look so blameworthy. You look so blameworthy by ringing the dad mother. Please, according to a Pelican perspective, it's not really good or bad. Clear that young lady is the reason me meeting that young lady is ruin my life. She is ruin my life. Is she simply ruin your life? You would have realized she was free. She was freezing. Mother, you can't be. You got to think, assume, think. Cerebrum, mind simply thought she was. You realize I don't realize. I simply thought she was. I thought she was naking, very drained, as this occurred previously, and I can't get her up, consequently thus off. I made some tea first cause I assumed. I thought you is okay. Mother, that is fine. It's so reasonable. It's consuming me. Inside each second of my day it's consuming, yet I know something that they don't realize. Consuming me, eating me. They heard Elliot teaching his mom on the best way to act with the police and what she expected to say. His dad, Lee Turner, appeared to be the main individual who comprehended what he was doing was off base, yet at last he submitted to the desire of his child and spouse while paying attention to the accounts. Specialists likewise heard what befell Emily Longley. Elliot Turner conceded that he caused her passing. They captured Elliot Turner a week after Emily's demise. He obviously denied his responsibility. His legal advisors attempted to challenge the credibility of those sound accounts anyway. Having concentrated on all parts of this case, the appointed authority permitted the arraignment to involve the accounts as proof. Not realizing the police were listening, Elliot conceded that he felt furious consistently and that nobody had at any point irritated him however much. Emily, during the preliminary in May 2012, his attorney expressed that their client acted justifiably. Elliot Turner said that the fight in his room turned rough and he needed to get Emily by the neck. He said he didn't choke her, he just found her dead in his bed the following daytime. During the second day of the preliminary, Turner let the court know that he was nauseated by his activities that evening. Supposedly subsequent to finding Emily dead, he composed a letter to his mom saying how embarrassed he was and that he was leaving for Spain. One can expect Elliot Turner planned to leave the country upon the arrival of Emily's passing, yet altered his perspective for reasons unknown when the police showed up at Turner's home after the 999 call. They saw gathered packs. Elliot's visa was in his pocket. He conceded in court that he had undermined Emily and felt upset and misled the night prior to her demise in the wake of seeing bogus messages on her telephone saying he had crushed her face into a table while portraying the battle they had before her passing. He referenced Emily began beating him with her hands and feet. He attempted to quiet her down prior to surrendering and tossing her a £20 note for a taxi. He said she just disregarded me. It First, then 5 seconds after the fact, she just went off the deep end. I had never seen Emily arrive at that place of fury. I didn't have any idea what to do. She wouldn't stop. I continued to rehash the same thing. Stop it, quiet down. By then I got her by the neck utilizing my right hand guard board. Anthony Dunn inquired as to for what reason did you do that. Turner answered to stop her going crazy. I didn't have the foggiest idea what to do. My right hand connected with her neck when the protection counsel asked how hard he snatched her. Turner answered I wouldn't agree exceptionally hard, yet it was very hard. I got her and pushed her down onto the bed. I pushed down on her neck when she was in the resting position. He said he held her there for 5 or 6 seconds, then, at that point, let go and stomped out of the room. When inquired as to whether he expected to kill Emily, Turner answered no. He said he thought Emily had nodded off. Supposedly he understood Emily was dead just when she didn't get up the next morning. In a meeting with the Herald paper, Emily's dad Imprint talked about how hard it was for him to lose his little girl. Here is the thing about passing: it sucks. It doesn't make any difference assuming that it is your kid, your accomplice, or your 99-year-old grandma. It sucks that an individual is there one day and not the following. Great, it isn't something we can manage effectively. All commemorations are hard, birthday celebrations are hard, Christmas is hard, Easter is likewise extreme. Since it was the last time I truly invested energy with her, Imprint Longley said. He said the heaviest part was that he could never see the lady she might have become. I miss seeing the existence she was denied unfurl. We had a concise look at the lady she was becoming, and I was so glad for her. I am her dad and obviously I'm one-sided, yet the world truly was a superior spot with her, and it was positively significantly more fun. At the preliminary they depicted Elliot Turner as a ruined, well-off kid whose guardians needed to assist him with getting away from discipline. The court heard he was given the run of the family's home in the rich Sovereigns Park area of Bournemouth, where he would hold parties for his middle-class companions. Portrayed as wild by his dad Lee, he was given his own residing space in the changed-over carport of his folks' home so he could travel every which way without upsetting them. It was in his room, which had its own smaller than usual bar, that he strangled Emily on his bed. The police analyzed the PCs seized from Turner and found the accompanying pursuit questions: passing by strangulation and how to stay away from discipline for a wrongdoing. The fundamental rationale of the wrongdoing was desire. The court heard declaration from Luke Ashford, who went through the night with Emily as currently referenced. Elliot Turner learned about it even while in guardianship. Turner flaunted that the jury would accept his contorted story that Emily had gone after him and he had acted justifiably when he choked her in an attack of desire. In letters from his jail cell to his companions, he said he would before long drive another reach Meanderer and move to Spain. He wanted to offer the freedoms to his story and carry on with a stylish life anyway. The jury immediately broke his deceptions when they viewed him to be blameworthy. On May 22, 2012, the court condemned Elliot Turner to life in jail with a base term of 16 years. Reporting the decision, MRS Equity Dose portrayed Turner as a man of striking presumption. She said Emily was a wonderful, kind, fun-loving young lady who carried a beam of daylight to those she contacted. That light has been stifled unexpectedly and unnecessarily by you. Didn't cherish her, she was only a prize. The relationship, in the event that it tends to be called that, was about you. It was about control you completed, utilizing hostility and dangers you can take care of, considerations of champagne, Bentley and young ladies, and focus on the explanation you are carrying out a day-to-day existence. Punishment. MRS Equity Dose likewise condemned Turner to 9 months to run simultaneously for distorting the course of equity. However, Elliot Turner wasn't the main individual being investigated. His folks Anita and Lee, whom Turner utilized for money to subsidize his luxurious celebrating, cherished their child such a lot of they attempted to cover his wrongdoing. Lee obliterated Turner's admission letter and Anita took the coat from the room where the letter purportedly was. His mom even deferred calling an emergency vehicle so her child could cover his tracks and let the family think of a persuading story for the police. When inquired as to why she didn't call a rescue vehicle, Anita Turner answered that she didn't completely accept that Emily was dead. Under questioning, they inquired as to whether she suspected Emily had destroyed her child's life. Following a delay of 6 seconds, she answered no. In the recording, Lee found out if they had made the best Choice: we've made the best choice, Anita answered. Both 51-year-old Anita Turner and 54-year-old Lee Turner were viewed as at legitimate fault for debasing the course of equity and condemned to 27 months in jail. Mrs. Equity Linda Dew said, "You two decided to battle the case, showing little regret. Mr. Turner, you guaranteed you didn't have a clue about the items in the letter when you obliterated it. However, the reality it was consuming on your soul is very clear from your anguished manner of speaking on the tape delivered in 2013. Subsequent to carrying out portion of their punishment, they actually live in the house where Emily Longley passed on. Emily's father imprint separated as he talked about the decisions after the case upheld by previous spouse Caroline and girl Hannah. He expressed out loud, "Whatever we have heard over these 5 weeks has stunned us and nauseated us. That a man so malevolent like Turner could deal with a delicate and cherishing young lady like Emily so fiercely is too much. We are so glad for the way that she had come most of the way all over the planet to cause a superior life for herself. This is a day-to-day existence Turner chose to end." Imprint said there was a ton of discussed Turner's bragging and that nobody had viewed his message in a serious way until it was past the point of no return. He added even his mom didn't treat in a serious way when he messaged her to tell her he planned to break Emily's neck, maybe assuming somebody had viewed his alarming statement in a serious way. Emily may be with us today. I trust. Turner languishes consistently in jail over what he has done. In October 2020, the press revealed that Elliot Turner's fellow prisoners had beaten him in jail. It occurred after he hung up photographs of Emily in his cell and bragged getting letters from female fans. A portion of his fellow prisoners went after him after he said he would before long revisitation of his life. Loaded with champagne, Bentley and birds. In 5 years Turner will reserve the option to apply for right on time discharge from jail. One might dare to dream that good judgment will win and that the parole board will settle on the ideal choice with respect to an individual who actually has no regret for his activities.